You see, yeah, man. Our people has the spirit of Esau on them. I should have waited until I had something actually really serious to talk about, but I don't really have anything in particular that I want to talk about, But it's sad though, people sometimes they ain't satisfied until they enemy is doing harm to them. Or either they not satisfied until they just actually hating on their own brother. Hold on, let me go ahead and get something. I gotta read something. I'm gonna bring something out with me. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit it out, ratify. Yeah, I'm gonna go in there and get my in the room and get my camera stand. Well, it's dark while I'm walking in the hallway. It's what I set the laptop up on. I put it like in the middle. Right. That's some of these words I'm gonna have to actually like look up. Let me see something else. I hope this thing don't click off. The Wi-Fi is real sensitive to cutting in and out. Yeah, Wi-Fi is very sensitive. More than likely, I believe it might cut out, like kind of cut in and cut out shit. But we'll see. I wish it wouldn't though. We'll see how well it work here. Let's don't look like it'll. Mm, okay, you just have to sit it up there right. Let's see here. I haven't read this book here in a while, Babylon Temple of Two, but I like it. It's got a lot of history in here. Um, they got one study they call Asia Africa Culture Goes to Europe. Asia goes to Europe. The Samaritan Babylonians, the Samaritans, Babylonians, and Ethiopians were black people. They contributed much to the advancement of civilization because they studied astrology. They were capable of formulating many principles of astronomy. These black people were so sagacious and skillful that they were able to divide the years into months, weeks, and hours, minutes, and seconds. In mathematics, they developed the 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 criminal system. The most famous of the Babylonian kings was the Ham Marble Marbai, who ruled about 200, who ruled about 2150 BC. He was outstanding for his codification of a system of laws founded in relations as Pelvian, the Pelvian the measuring for crime. He also established a 7-day weeks with their last day a rest day of or Sabbaths. This idea was adopted by the Hebrews and then transmitted to the Greeks, Romans, and other Europeans. The literature of the Babylonians is quite interesting. Long ago, these black people wrote with a sharp instrument on clue tablets. Thousands of these tribes have been found, and some of them disclose a popular work known as the Enomina Elishas, or the creation of epics. The story of how the riding from the Babylonians. The black Hamites migrated toward the east, south, and southwest and west. These black Hamites settled in the land of Canaan. Later on, it was called Israel. The land of Canaan gets its name from the youngest son of Ham, who was Canaan. The Canaanites were the predominant of abortions of the land of Canaan, meaning we may call them Africans because of their blood relations to the other habitation of the African continent. These were 11 Canaanite tribes living in the land of Canaan and surrounded it before the black Israelites possessed it. The greatest cultural and commercial cities of these black Canaanites were Tyre and Sidon, sometimes written Zidon. This city gets its name from Sidon, the firstborn son of Canaan. The Sidonians and the Tyrians were of the same race, and their king ruled both of these cities. In many history books, you will read about the Sidonians under the name of Phoenician. The Greek called the Sidonians Phoenicians, the land of plum, because they found many plum trees there. Okay, but the Sidonians called their nation by the name of Canaan, Phoenician, or land of the Sidonians, was located to the north of the Palestinian, along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea, bordered by the sea on the west, and Sidon was founded about 23 BC. It the only black Phoenician city known to the Greeks even after the Tyre took the leadership. The Greeks and the Hebrews spoke of the Phoenician and Sidonians, and the king, uh, the fifth Baal, the earth Baal of Tyre, is called king of the Sidonian. These black people were prolific in philosophy, astronomy, grooming, groomantry, art, artemetic, and navigated. They had good harbors which enabled them to navigate to distant lands, such as Cyprus, Sardia, and Crete, and Rhode Island, Cause in Spain, Sicily, and Carthage in North Africa near the, the Tunis and Targir and Ophir, and the Canary Island. These Phoenicians were skilled also in metal work, needle work, and embroidery. They extracted dyeing from shellfish abided in the Aegis waters. This dyeing became known later at Tyre. The principles they made grass from the white sand of the Mediterranean coast. And like, let's go back up and look at that. Let's see here. I think this is right. I read it right in here. It said the greatest culture in the commercial cities of these black Canaanites were Tyre and Sidon. Sometime written in Sidon, this city gets its name from Sidon, and for the firstborn son of Canaan, the Sidonians and the Tyre were of the same race, and their kings ruled over both of these cities. In many history books, you will read about the Sidonians under the name of Phoenician. The Greeks called the Sidonians Phoenician, the land of plum, because they found that many plum trees there. But the Sidonians called their nation by the name of Canaan, and Phoenician, or the land of the Sidonians, were located. So this is how what happened with uh the Canaanites. They took and they conquered the land of the Hebrews, like the Mesopotamia, the islands and stuff like that, and they took and renamed those countries and stuff. That's why we got the Africans is the one that actually sold our people to the so-called white man, and when they came over to America, they named it Africa, and then they named it America at the same time. Those are two white men's names. You know what I'm saying? So they had a reason for renaming these countries and calling them what they are. Most of us don't even know the real history behind why we call ourselves certain things. You see what I'm saying? Just like they got a restaurant called Crack a Barrel. Y'all, I don't know if y'all ever heard of that. Crack a Barrel. You have to understand there's a reason why that they name a country crack a barrel. You know what I mean? Um, it's a reason for all that. You see what I'm saying? You know, so really, we call ourselves certain names. We got names after our enemies. You see what I'm saying? Like You see what I'm saying? In me, it's not in my damn nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you have you noticed it, like go and Google your name up. Most of the more than likely white so-called white people gonna come up in them names. And that's why I say I named this video, our people got the spirit of Esau on them, because the names that we got these spirits. See, you have to understand, bro, certain names carry spirits. And I'm gonna show you in the Bible reason why I dang forgot to get my Bible. I left my daggum phone in the house. But I'm outside the apartment though. But you have to understand, man, this is how we get different names. We get different names from different things. You see what I'm saying? And matter of fact, let's go to the let's read this here. Let's read about this. I'm reading from Babylon Temple of Two, right here about the origin of the black race. The original black race. My bad. The original black race. Okay. Originally all Hamites, and those were the dark-skinned people that enslaved the Israelites. Originally all Hamites and Shemites Shemites were black. Abraham was a black Shemite. A Shemite and a Hamite is different, but the names are similar. A Shemite, and that's why they go, when you look at an African American person and a so-called African, they look similar, but they're not the same people. You see what I'm saying? It said the name of Abraham was Abram before he was referred to as Abraham. The three Hebrew patriarchs were Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This Jacob begot 12 sons, who later fathered the 12 tribes of Israel. Abraham was the father not only of the Hebrew Israelite nation, but also of the Arab nation. But you have to understand, God had called people, you know what I'm saying? Now, the mother and the grandmother of the Arabian nations were black Hamites, Egyptian women, and the fathers of the Arabian nations were Abraham, Isaac, Abraham, and Ishmael. Wilderness, Josephus, the Jewish historians, wrote that Ishmael married an Egyptian woman. Ishmael, that was a heathen. Ishmael married an Egyptian woman. As a result, he begot 12 sons: Nabijah, Kedar, and Adbeel, Misham, and Dilmah, Massa, Kedar, Timah, Jetar, Nephesh, and Kidmat. These 12 sons became 12 tribes, and the inhabitation of the region from the Euphrates to the Red Sea in the Arabian Peninsula. This country is known today as Arabian. To those who do not believe that the ancient Arabians were black, I would like to make one point crystal clear. If your mother and grandmother were black, I am positive that you would have many colored futures. So this is how we got different colors and stuff. It says Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the 12 tribes of Israel were all black people. So that means that the so-called European want to try to make it seem like that they had something to do with the color line when they started mixing. No, they already had black people have already been, well, our people was already of different shades of color before they you know before the intermixing and all that type of stuff. Because when you look at the ground is like the dirt is brown. You see what I'm saying? Brown, it goes from brown to dark to yellow. You see what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Kind of, you know what I'm saying? Different soils and stuff like that. So we know that. All right, let's keep going. This I shall prove to you by a gradual method. After Joseph was sold down born in the fifth road to Egypt to buy corn because of a famine was in the land. All new coming to Africa, they did not recognize him. Because see, Joseph looked like he looked like an Egyptian. He didn't even appear to look like an Israelite. They did not recognize him because Joseph had grew up and the Egyptians were a black people like the sons of Jacob. Jacob's 10 brothers, 10 sons considered Joseph to be another black Egyptian. We reported to their father, the man who is Lord of the land spoke wrongfully to us. Furthermore, if Joseph had been white, he would have aroused the curiosity of his brother very rapidly. We really do not need any further proof that the Israelites were black, but for the sake of argument, I will offer it. You know? So the Israelites have always have been black. There's always have been a black people. When the king Pharaoh of Egypt promulgated an edict to cast all the Hebrew male babies into the Nile River, Miriam and her mother laid the baby Moses in a basket alongside the river. Meanwhile, Pharaoh's daughter came down to the Nile to wash herself, and she saw the basket and the baby Moses. So, in other words, Moses was a Hebrew. You see what I'm saying? Moses was Hebrew, and he was a Hebrew, and the Egyptian, the daughter of Pharaoh, that was like an African. You see what I'm saying? That's what those Africans are. The original biblical name for the Africans would be Egyptians or Canaanites or something like that. Yeah. When the Pharaoh of Egypt promulgated an edict to cast all the Hebrew male babies in a basket alongside the river. Meanwhile, Pharaoh's daughter came down to the Nile to wash herself, and she saw the basket and the baby Moses. Pharaoh's daughter knew that the baby was a Hebrew, and she adopted him. If Moses had been a white baby, it would have been difficult to conceal him from her father's anger. So Moses was raised up in, he was a slave to he was servitude to these people, right? And that's why he learned the way he learned. Moses learned everything that he learned in slavery. He learned all of the customs of the Egyptians and all that type of stuff. Because Pharaoh's daughter, Pharaoh, them, they believe in sacrificing to other gods. You'll find that in Pharaoh, where they celebrate birthdays and stuff like that. You'll find that in Genesis 40, I think it's 43 and 42, where it says that they would not eat bread with the Hebrews or something like that, because that was an abomination to the Egyptians. The Hebrews wouldn't eat bread with those, the Hebrews would not eat bread with the Egyptians because that was an abomination to the Egyptians. It's something like that. You know what I'm saying? You go and read it there. You'll see where they celebrated like birthdays and stuff, but the Israelites during biblical time did not engage in that. You see what I'm saying? That's why today we ain't supposed to be engaging in that kind of stuff, because all that stuff belongs to the other nation. Like this 4th of July and all that stuff, that's bullshit. That's of the white man. You have to understand why that was created. All of that stuff was instituted and put in place for you to be a slave, celebrating the 4th of July and all that. That's what that's what the Africans did. That's what them Canaanites did. They celebrated birthday. They sacrificed to what they call this god, the Canaanite god. They sacrifice their gods to the fire of the Molech. Molech, that's what they call it, Molech, and all those different things. Most High forbid it. He anticipate any of that stuff because it brings evil, demonic. You're inviting demonic spirits into your house and around in your surroundings and stuff like that. You know, that's exactly what you're doing. And I just love this one. Who is Esau Edom? I'm jumping from one to another. Yep. It says hatred by Edom's descendants. I'm just reading y'all, so just follow. Nowhere in scripture is such hatred and animosity to be found as that which Esau Edom had for Jacob Israel. The question is, where in history can we find this matter of hatred of one group of people by another? The parallel is clearly revealed in the hatred which the Jews have for the white Canaanite, for the white Christian people. The most obvious evidence of the perpetual hatred. Perpetual means a non-ending. Perpetual hatred Jews have toward the white Christian people is found in their own Talmud. Talmud is a vegetation god, something like that. In this work of hatred and perversion, the Jewish rabbi, and that's those Ashkenazi fake Jews, had staged throughout the centuries, have expressed the Jewish attributes of hate toward white Christians. Okay, the followings are some exception from the Talmud which demonstrate Jewish hatred of Christians. It is allowed to cheat he is allowed to cheat a Gentile and take usury on him. In other words, you can do this to a Gentile nation. You can turn around, you can they're not the chosen people. It said it is allowed to cheat a Gentile. A Gentile take usury means ask for something from him and promise you're gonna give it back to him and don't do it. All right. The government Christians are regarded as unclean. Shabbat, page 145, page abandoned. Okay. It is not allowed to rob a brother Jew. That means you're not allowed to rob a brother Jew. But to rob a Gentile is allowed. But to rob a Gentile, it is allowed. The Bible's telling you this in. Okay, hold on. I want to turn it. All right. The government are not like men, but are as animals. They are animals. Keturah 6b. The seed of the government is worth the same as that of a beast. Kibbat 36. Babel, Mecca, page 11, 114 and 6. Okay. A Jew must not enter the home of a Christian Gentile. 62. The government are not to be cured or helped when sick, even for money. Abandoned. Zechariah 27, Zechariah 27 book. Lord died. Okay. 158, 158, 1. Okay. It is permitted to deceive a government. Baby came up. Okay. 11, 3 page, book. It says a Jew shall not do injury to other Jews. That means your own brother. That's what I be talking about in this community. See, we hate each other more up in here than we do the actual oppressors that actually is doing these things to our people. But the law does not prohibit injury to a government. Those who do good to Christians will. Yeah. So what I'm gonna oops, hold on, wait. Yeah. Um all the festivals of followers of Jesus are forbidden, and we must conduct ourselves toward them as we would toward idolatry. Abandon Zechariah. Uh, wait a minute, I don't know if that is Zechariah. I don't know. It's Zarah. Do not save a government in danger of death. When a Jew had a government came to court, you must obese it, obese it the Jew and take his side as far as possible. According to Jewish law, if, however, the Jews can be absolved according to Gentile law, you know, oh yeah, I'm falling asleep reading this. If, however, the Jews can be absolved according to Gentile law, absolved him. Okay, I'm gonna have to look those words up. A Jew may keep anything he finds belong to the Kairim Christian to return teaches Jews to. We should be against the so-called white man, not each other. It teaches Jews to be against the government in every aspect of life while working to destroy the Christian religion and under remaining their cultural and cultural and society. So it's basically telling you how to treat your brother. That's in Deuteronomy chapter 23 too. It tells you um, also, I think it's in chapter 22 too, where it tells you lend usury upon, don't lend usury upon your own brother, but do it to a heathen. You can do it to a heathen, but not your brother. Like if you go to your brother and ask to borrow something or whatever, and you refuse to keep your end of the bargain or whatever, that's wrong. You ain't supposed to be doing that. You ain't supposed to even work your brother for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Also, but it said you can do whatever you want to the heathen. You can take a dog and you can sell a dog to a heathen, but don't sell it to your brother. You know? That's what the Bible says. I left my Bible in the house, but I'm gonna get the scriptures to that when I go in the house, and I probably put them in the scripture box. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Go in the house. I don't know how this video gonna sound because I think I was going in and out a little bit sleeping. Let me know in the comment section if y'all think I was going in and out in this video. And if I was, I gotta go in there, plug this thing up. Oops. Y'all let me know if y'all think I did a pretty good, fair job, because I wanted to put something out, you know? Or if not, then let me know in the comment section later. Yeah, so I guess I'll close it out now.